Now then, with WizardCon coming to a close, the party of adventurers, Cat K, Curve, Romulus, and Vinny, prepare to move out and return once again to their journey beyond. With an enjoyable time at the convention itself, eating a variety of foods, enjoying some mild wild magic sensations, and pleasant weather, the party have otherwise had their time at WizardCon. A week has passed since the beginning of it, and now they sit in the tavern, eating breakfast as WizardCon begins to pack up. As you're otherwise eating your rather bland breakfast compared to the variety of foods that you've been eating over the course of this. If someone wants to spend, I'll say 2 gold to cover the food that's been for the past few days. If somebody wants to cover that, then you're welcome to. Veki
Not
was just
it.
covering the...
Dip's not it.
Yeah, not it here as well.
Do I even have that?
I hope so.
I do.
Just
Okay.
wonderful. So as you're otherwise sat around eating your breakfast, for the technically non-canon but canon reason, Kay has returned to you, Vinny, in the form of a bag of holding. He will transform back into Kay once Sud's returned.
That sounds about right, yeah.
This is not a permanent change, but some strange stuff happened at WizardCon, and he's trying to figure out how to undo it. The rest of you don't know how. You've tried to spell magic; it doesn't work.
Okay, it's fine. He's working on it.
Yep, he's working on it. So, with that, you otherwise have your breakfast. Veki has otherwise gathered up his things and has returned downstairs with the rest of his geo wards, and otherwise goes over. It's been good catching up with. No, that's the wrong voice.
No, magic nonsense happened. That's his voice.
Magic. No.
Welcome.
We can't use that excuse too often.
Oh, I know.
The church will find us.
Good.
I don't know why it's the church that are judging this. They've got a
Good.
vested interest in D&D.
It's been good catching up with you, Cat. I hope that you continue working on your various projects, and I hope things go well for you. Do keep me informed if there's anything you need from me. I'm going to be heading off to just the next city over, just to make sure. Well, heading to Felder, just to make sure that everything's sorted with the Flame Hills, and I'll leave you to your business heading wherever you're going. If we bump into each other, then so be it. Just remember to keep in touch.
Oh, well, at the end of each week, I'll send a breakdown of what's happened.
Emphasis on breakdown.
I will send a brief review on everything that's transpired in that week. And if we're good. Yes.
Well, good luck. Hope those spells serve you well, and the rest of you, keep Cat safe, and keep yourselves safe also. Alright. He lugs his pack over his shoulder. The 3 other Geo wards doing the same, otherwise giving you general nods of just kind of confirmation and or respect in a way. And they otherwise also leave, heading out into the beyond, heading to Felder. With that, what would you like to do?
Well, so WizardCon is done then.
Yeah, people have begun packing up. The tents have all been taken down. There are a few kind of lingering individuals throughout the streets, other wizards who have either had a revelrous night of drinking in some form, maybe too much wild magic, you're not sure, but most people have begun packing up, or they have packed up and left. The teleportation circle glyphs that were set up are beginning to be removed.
Okay. Well, I mean, do we have anything else we want to do here?
Well, unless you think there's anything else I need to pick up for my magic stick, or not quite magic, my fuck you magic stick, then no, I think I'm good.
We need to get some enchanting crystals, but apart from that, I think we should be good.
Nothing else I need from here.
On the way out, if the store's still open, I'd like to try and get a hat, a wizard hat. But
Yeah.
that's if the store's
Yeah, I'll say that's fine. Yeah. Heading out, you can see that a lot of the places have begun to close down quite quickly, and wizards aren't early risers. Quite a lot of the stands that were being run by Ishlan elves have otherwise left. You can probably tell because they don't sleep as long, so they were able to pack up earlier. But the others are all kind of a bit groggy in places. People have begun packing up carts, which are where they've been keeping most of their goods, and are beginning to leave and head off in various directions. But you otherwise arrive at the kind of the trinket store or the trinket stall as you approach the edge of what looks to be a few kind of still around wizard hats that are and hoods that are otherwise hanging from various hooks on the edge of a tent, which is beginning to be pulled down as the person is in the process of waking up.
Okay. Have they got any light blue wizard hats? Maybe got some stars on it.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. This will just be to see if there are any left.
If not, then next wizard con I'm gonna need it. Use 10.
10. There don't seem to be any which are blue. There are quite a few which have like small stars on them in design, mainly pointed hats in that particular area. There are hoods from what you can tell, along with what look to be a few hoods which are more marked up in price, somewhere closer to 50 or 75 gold. But you can tell at kind of just a general, with your general arcana and ability, you can tell that they have a minor effect towards magic, but they aren't necessarily magical.
Okay. What about the hats? What colours ones are there with stars and?
You can see that there is a red one, a green one, and a black one.
None of them really go with my stuff. Next WizardCon, I need to get a hat. I'm gonna get it at the start. Okay. Then we'll go and get the crystals. And guys, where are we going to next? I mean, shall we return to Zakers? We've got to take the Smith to the Ghost Steel place.
We do have to do that.
So we could probably head to Zakers and complete our quest with the Pioneers Guild.
And then come back and, yeah, that seems our best bet.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, if it's okay with you lot, I'd like to try and help the mayoress with her problem in the next village over at some point.
As in the future or next?
In the future, next. If we've got other plans, then I understand that other plans will take lead, but I would like to help her.
I'm happy to help out there. I still need to figure out where my friends have gotten to.
Okay. Were we following them down here?
I believe they came south. I'm trying to remember, Chris. Did we know where? In what direction Carvern?
From what you understand, with the people who you spoke to at Zakers, Carvern left through the southern exit of Zakers Crossing. Following the road, there is only one road, and that travels to Braylin, where you currently are. You haven't had the chance to ask around because you headed off into the mountains to go to the giant fortress, and then you headed down towards Braylin. You swiftly went westward towards Farganuk. So you haven't really searched around Braylin all that much. You kind of met up with Corsair, did a little bit of shopping of materials and things that you might need, and then left.
Yeah, it slipped my mind to ask while WizardCon was on, although most of the people around here wouldn't have.
Okay. So at that point, do you want to stay here and do a bit more research, or shall we head back to Zakers, get all the formalities we need to get done there, catch up with Damien, I'll send him a send-in, see how he's getting on, and if he does happen to be in the area, maybe he can join us. I don't know what the context was for him leaving, and then head back this way. You can do your research We can also look more into the goose, as the eggs were sold down here. And then on from there?
I still have the egg, which hopefully I can trade with the taskmaster guy. To help
In
me
Greg
out.
Davies?
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
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 Oh, that was a cracking yoke there.
Oh,
Haha.
You need to stop before you scramble my brain.
All right, I'm gonna let you calm down there.
Okay.
okay, so that sounds like the plan then.
I've forgotten the plan after the egg puns. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What was the next move?
So what I've proposed is go back to Zaker's, get the formalities we've got to get done there. Possibly see if we can pick up another Pioneers thing or something coming back down this way. And then come down here, do some research in regards to Vinny's target and Curve's egg person.
Curve's egg.
And
Yep.
and then go on to the town over and help the mayoress with her problem. How does that
Okay.
sound like a proposal?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, although depending on what I find, I might want to head in a different direction.
Okay, well, that's fine. We can go by that. If we just work as this as a skeleton principle and then move on as information comes in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the first step was
Head back to Zaka. So it'll be taking the guy first to see the ghost steel person.
Now, before we start moving, do we have enough supplies?
I have.
Yeah, I have 2 weeks of supplies.
Yeah, I've got 9 rations.
so you haven't got enough, but we're a 2-day journey. Yeah.
I have 7 rations.
Okay. Wonderful. You're all prepared and ready to go. So
Let me have a look at my ration check here.
your first step was to
15.
go where exactly again? It was
Okay,
to
let's
head to.
Take the forge guy to the ghost steel place, that church.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
have to get in before the ghosts throw chairs at us.
Okay. So you head over to the weaponsmith in Braylin. Do you remember his name? And does anybody remember where he is?
Get.
I've got a cat that's currently trying to break into my room. I will be back shortly.
Oh,
I'm not there.
this was a different guy who was going to style my beard.
Yes.
Okay, then my notes do not help.
Taking notes of the important things, though. Respect.
Thank you.
Okay.
Not there. It's been a hot minute since the.
Yes, that's fair.
I was by his store, because we went there, or I saw it when I was buying the chest.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's in
So
that
what's the name of it?
direction. No. Oh, I've got the front of this book, which means it's in one of these notebooks. Oh no, dark times, people.
Yeah, he was set up shop somewhere strange, wasn't he?
Not terribly strange, but sort of.
Okay.
Okay, can I do a history check? Because I'm looking at my notebooks and just gonna cry.
Yeah, history or survival check. Give me a roll.
I'll do history. I'm good with history.
Okay. Oh, we still need to do Romulus's wood
Well,
carving
that's
rolls.
11.
11. You remember you walked past it, and as you begin to have one of those moments where you begin walking around that section of town, you can't see it. It's one of those moments that you're like, I'm sure it's around here somewhere, and you're wandering around a section of town thinking that it's here, yet you can't seem to see it.
I guess with Wizard gone here, everything's kind of moved. I'm thrown way off. Anyone good at survival? You want to roll a survival?
Romulus is. He's just fighting the third beast that he's going to turn into slippers.
Oh no.
Ah, Romulus roll. Romulus' survival was decent. That's a natural one. Never mind. Romulus is like, I'm sure it's this way, and leads you off. You spend about an hour wandering around town. You can't seem to find it.
Okay, I'm gonna look for one of the guards or something along them lines, and I'm gonna ask.
Mhm.
Can you, is there anyone around?
Yeah, there's a few guards around, and
I'm
then
gonna
the
go over
people
to the
are
guards
still moving
then.
through the street.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
I'm looking for the forge or the smithy. I'm pretty sure I knew where it was, but
You're in the wrong part of town for that. You'll want to head over to the east side of town. There's a large forge district over there. You should be able to quite happily find a few individuals willing to work smithing, whatever that may be.
okay. Awesome. All right. I'll go. So over that way then. Thank you very much for your help.
You're welcome. Okay. Heading over to the east side of town, you see a very unfamiliar sight to all of you. The large, what looks to be a almost circular area, several chimneys and forges otherwise in place around this large, almost donut-shaped building. You can see that it is open-sided with double doors that have just been opened due to the nice weather, airing out the scent of smoke as individuals are working on melting metal and bending into various shapes: horseshoes, nails, knives, simple tools and cutlery, nothing proficient as such as a weapons dealer or an arms dealer. Or an armor dealer, sorry. This isn't the right location. If you remember correctly, as you begin to think to do so, your weapons dealer was a very recluse individual.
Yep. Of course.
You can try again if you want to. I mean, an hour has passed of you wandering around town and then going to the wrong place, so...
Okay, I will...
Was it Farganuk?
Oh no, in Braylin there was the weaponsmith that you're going to meet.
Right,
But the
well...
party has all forgotten where he is and his name and the name of his shop, and therefore you are all rolling, and so far nobody has succeeded. You included, Romulus. You rolled a natural one and took everybody on a little jaunt for about an hour.
I was gone for 5 fucking minutes.
Okay.
Less than that.
I will try my thing again. Can I roll a history again?
Yeah, go for it.
Remember.
I seem to remember there was the smell of cedar.
There's
Okay, there we go.
24.
Okay. Thinking back, as you kind of think back to it, you realise that you walked past it several times, but as you're trying to remember, you remember that the guy's name is Kevin, but the N has fallen off of the name of his sign out front his store, and you walked past it a few times as you were wandering around the section of town to the west. You head back over there, and quite easily you see what looks to be Kevy's weapon shop, where the N has fallen off. It is, however, slightly reclused in almost an indent in a almost like a alleyway situation, but the sign is there. You just walked past it a few times, I'm afraid.
Okay, we've made it. Shall we go and get Kevy?
Kevin.
No, Kevy. The sign says Kevy.
Who are you arguing with?
Oh, just sometimes the voices in my head.
Yeah, so Saicheni gives you a jab. It's
No.
Kevin.
Oh, fine. It's Kevin. He needs to fix his sign though.
Okay. So you head inside.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The smell of wood and kind of fresh carved wood, as well as ash, and from what you remember, just general treating oils, lacquer, charcoal, all sorts. As you otherwise wander in, you can see weapons are hanging up in places. You can see empty places where weapons were once placed. As you otherwise enter, there is a short pause and a moment before you hear from the back, "I'll be with you in a minute."
Apparently he'll be with
Few
us in a minute.
Few moments, he otherwise wanders back to the shop floor. "Sure, how welcome back, all of you. Do you have that back to Corbin for trade? So far, your weapons have so far sold pretty well."
Unfortunately, it was lost in a tragic smelting accident.
"Ah, well, that's a shame. We'll have to reconfigure the bargain when we get a chance. Miss
Indeed.
Sundart's been serving you well?" Looking to you, Vinny.
I was going to say, looking at Vinny now.
Haven't had much of a chance to use its special features, but it's a solid sword nonetheless.
Ah, that's fair enough. Yeah, your sword sold remarkably well.
Oh?
Yeah, sold it almost the day afterwards.
No, that's
Some
interesting.
bloke came in with a few others and said they were having a look around at weapons and they saw yours and they bought it up. Just like that.
Oh? How much did you charge them for it?
It's a cursed weapon. Scammed them a good 100, but that's about it. You can't tell what the curse is, not without trying to find out, and I didn't want to be the one to find out that sort of thing. Said that they'd take the risk. They just needed a better weapon.
Interesting sorts of people?
Sort of.
Standard adventurers.
Not adventurers of sorts. The one who bought it seemed like an adventurer of sorts. The fella. The other two who were with him never really got a good look at them. They were having a look around at the various things, like just the occasional bit of throwing knives, smoke powder, that sort of thing.
Don't suppose they were hooded and robed individuals, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Why? I mean, they did ask who owned it before them. Told them Tieflin owned it before. Came in my shop a few days before. Didn't mention your name, of course. Just said it was you. They said fascinating and bought it and left. Why?
The individual who bought the weapon wouldn't have happened to have been a human, would he?
Yeah. Tall fella. Darkish
Tall.
hair.
Dark hair?
Yeah.
Strong looking? Older gentleman?
Oh, older, yes. Strong. I'd say he's seen better days. Your friend, your Minotaur friend could certainly put a number on him, but I'd say the rest of you would still struggle.
Okay, he didn't leave a name, did he?
No, he just bought it and left.
Okay.
Why? Is he not a good person? Should I not have sold it to him?
I think he may have been the sword's original owner.
Oh, fair enough. He didn't say as such.
Well, he wouldn't have, would he?
Fair point.
Did he say or do anything that would have indicated that he was looking for us? Did you say where we were going, or?
No, he asked a few questions. He asked who the sword's original owner was, and I said, "Oh, Tiefling sold it to me." Said they were moving on to a new adventure, and that they were going to be figuring out a few things, and then possibly passing back through. He didn't seem all that interested. He just was like, "Oh yeah, fair enough." Bought the sword, and then said, just said to stay well, really. Don't remember him saying or asking any more questions.
Okay. Right.
I mean, the most that I can say is that he was a tall, broad-shouldered fella. Darker skin. He had a large beard as well. Well taken care of. Asked if he was related to dwarves. Don't remember getting his answer though.
Not from what I remember.
Oh, so you know him?
Old friend of mine.
Oh, fair enough. Well, if he passes back through, I'll let him know you say hello.
Yeah, you do that.
Well, maybe. I mean, we've come because you wanted to go to see where the ghost deal was forged.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That was going to be part of the bargain for one of the other weapons. That is going to be a problem, though, because if you haven't got the Bector Corbin, I can't really give you the original offer.
How much was the Bector Corbin going to come to altogether?
Well, for the most part, the Bector Corbin was... The Bector Corbin was, for the most part, a rather... How should we say? It was a quirky weapon. And I'm interested in quirky, because if I can replicate it somehow, then great, I can potentially put that on other things. But it wasn't amazing. So I'd say it was probably about 300, accounting for about 300 gold, but it was part of a sweeter deal. So I wasn't just trading a 1-for-1. Learning how to make ghost steel is certainly worth it. And if I remember correctly, there was going to be a bit of gold involved as well, because you were on a journey to get some more.
I can certainly try and cover costs a bit more.
Well, Stagger
I'll be honest, I've completely forgotten what our actual terms of our deal were, so...
You were going to be after... You were after Stagger. Beautiful piece. Otherwise hefts out a rather large haft blade, which, for remembrance on what it does, is a +1 of excellent quality. And when you critically hit with it, your next attack automatically hits, so you just roll damage. That's what it does. But it was 10,000 gold. With learning ghost steel and how to potentially make it as a mortal, he was willing to, with that and the Bector Corbin, he was willing to cut the price down to about 1,000 gold. So with the Bector Corbin gone, it's about 1,500 gold for Stagger plus learning the ghost steel recipe, if he's able to.
Right, let me go to the bank. So what, about 1,500 for it?
Yeah, which will cost you 3 silver to withdraw.
Oh, God. I do that, I guess.
Okay.
Just...
Well, I'll bring the weapon with me, and in the event that the trade goes successfully, and I learn ghost steel, then I'll
to clarify, we did establish that we'll take you there and you'll attempt to learn. If you don't manage to learn how to make it whilst mortal, that's on you. The deal stands, as I understood it.
Roll me a persuasion check.
This is literally what we agreed to.
Yeah, you said you couldn't remember the terms originally, so he doesn't trust you. Give me a persuasion check.
You know how bad I am at these. 8.
8? He looks at you and goes, 2,000.
I could just give you nothing and we'll not take you and you can just keep the weapon.
You can re-roll it.
Come on. 8!
Oh.
God.
Just for funsies, one more time?
Yeah, go on then.
9! We're moving up in the world.
It's worth a lot of money, but at the same time... I mean, now I know it exists, I could try and find it. I'll struggle.
Just to give you a heads up, though, just if you do try and go on a pilgrimage yourself to find it, there are ghosts around.
Fair enough.
It's a very dangerous place.
I might join them and learn how to smith.
Oh no, they're angry ghosts.
Well, I'm going to kick the bucket in the next 5 years or so, so why not learn what I can? Well, if I get in the right place.
Don't say
That's
that.
the spirit.
You might not kick it in 5 years.
No,
Yeah,
it
who
might be
knows?
sooner.
No.
That's the spirit.
That
Hey,
Yeah, I don't
boss, you wanting this guy dead?
Mm.
Could just give him a good push over, you know? An accident.
I
This is
don't
the
think
crow
it
who's
goes.
talking to you.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Break it. I've fallen and can't get back up.
Mm.
Mugged by
I've
crows.
fallen and I can't get up.
You were going to say,
Yeah.
Vinny?
I will say I don't think ghosts can get into where the ghost steel is being forged.
Mm. So you'd need to learn before you died.
It means it is
Damn it.
rather not worth your time going there if you die to the ghosts on the way.
Mm.
Okay, Vinny, I'll let you roll a persuasion check
Please,
now.
God.
It was 50-50 on whether I actually wanted to help Romulus with this, but
I mean, to be fair, the Ghost Steel Halberd's still a good weapon. Just the half blade does about the same thing. It's just it has a different effect. Okay, yeah. Total?
and that is a 26.
He otherwise goes, it's a fair point. Okay, then, yeah, I'll say that. If I can't learn it, you can have the weapon still. Might charge you next time, though, no promises, but for the time being, I'll let you have it.
All right, 1,500. I hand the money over with a shaking hand.
You hold on to it till we get there. I ain't
All
giving you
right.
the weapon till we're there.
All right, fair enough.
He otherwise
Gonna carry
takes the
that all
weapon.
way?
Yeah, of course.
Credit to you.
It's not that hard. He puts the blade down on the counter, lifts it up a little bit and slides a bit of paper underneath. Just snaps his fingers, and you watch as the blade disappears, and a small blazed rune appears on a scroll of paper in front of him. He kind of ties it up, puts it in his pocket. There, it's my insurance.
Makes sense.
You won't be able to get to it until I say so.
Nice.
Cool.
If you kill me in the middle of learning how to do this ghost steel stuff after I give you the weapon, though, I will haunt you, and I'll ask the others to help.
Well,
Oh,
hopefully
come on then.
it's not me. Right. Okay, then we're
Lead the
off.
way.
Okay, then I guess we go.
Oh, hold on. He quickly runs out back and then comes out with a small pack on his back and goes, all right, got my lunch.
I hope you've got a little bit more than just lunch.
Well, how far is it?
A few days.
Say, could I have 1 or 2 gold pieces to buy myself some supplies on the way? Looking at you, Romulus, who has the gold.
You have your own business. I'm sure you can afford some rations.
What?
Look, we're doing a business. We are doing a
He
fucking.
rolled a
business
20 on his
transaction.
persuasion. A dirty 20 on his persuasion check.
Okay, I'm going to flip him 5 gold pieces.
Woo!
It
Why
better
not?
be. It better be an electrum.
An electrum piece.
Yeah.
Ugh, nobody takes that old currency anymore.
Why don't you go get what you need, and we meet back here in half an hour?
Sounds good.
I need
Okay.
to run one very quick errand before we head off.
He otherwise jogs into the marketplace and is going to go and buy himself some rations. You keep the change.
It's fine. You do your thing. We'll wait here. If anyone else wants to do anything, then we'll set this as our base.
Yeah.
For half hour.
Okay. So, Vinny, what would you like to do for the half hour? And would
I
anybody like to go with Vinny?
Do you
Or
need a
Vinny, are you
hand?
doing this on your own?
I can come give you a hand if you want.
wouldn't mind, actually.
Okay.
Actually, it would be more useful if we could split up.
Oh, split up. Okay. All right. Well, we can split into groups. What specifically do you want to do? Because some of us might be better at doing some things than others.
I was going to ask around about that individual.
Okay. Well, I can help with detect forts.
The tavern keeper, if he might have mentioned anything, or the guards if they saw the group leaving.
Okay. I can help with that. And what's the other group? Task.
Just to get more people in as short a time as possible.
Okay.
People might have forgotten by the time we're back here, but I think they probably came through only slightly before WizardCon. Might
Fair.
still be in people's memories.
Okay. Well, if we're gonna do this, who wants to go which party? I'm happy to go with Eva.
I need to go with. I need to go with.
With who?
Whichever one involves Cat or whichever one involves the stupid business bastard.
Well,
By which I mean
he's
the
off.
Smith.
He's gone. He's legged it. He's out.
He's
Oh,
run
he's
off.
not. He's not coming along with us.
No,
He's,
no.
okay,
No,
okay.
he's
We're
he's
doing
he's
something
going and grabbing rations while you
Okay.
guys are.
Then whichever one
Yeah.
has Cat in it.
And Curb, do you want to help Vinny?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Cool. So me and Romulus
Okay.
will go. Vinny and Curve. So who are
Okay.
you gonna go and see? So we can make sure we don't go and see the same people.
I'll probably ask around the guards.
Okay. So
If you'd
I'll
like to
go
go-
to the tavern.
Did you get the description?
Older gentleman, beard. Looks like he could take someone in a fight, but not me.
Big for a
Cloaked.
human, at least.
Human.
Cloaked. Was it a dark cloak he had on?
Should be his accomplices.
Beard
I don't-
with-
Kat, do you remember that time you looked into my memories?
Yeah. Oh.
You should have seen him. And
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it now rings a bell exactly who. You now have a very clear visual representation of who this may be.
I see. Okay. Yeah, no worries. I will ask the tavern keeps and bar staff, etc. See if anyone comes up with anything. Maybe some locals if there's some locals in there.
perfect. Thank you.
No worries.
So, who exactly is it we're looking for, Vinny?
Long story. He's an old friend of mine. We used to work together.
This is a lot of effort for an old friend.
Our group split up. And I don't remember why. There were 4 other people, 2 of whom I found dead. The other 2 seemed to be hunting each other. I need to find them before they get a hold of each other and find out why all of this happened.
All right. Curb's content, shrugs her shoulders. Let's go.
Okay.
All right then.
Okay. So, what are people doing in order to get information?
I'm going to go to the tavern to start with. Well, we'll go towards the tavern. And pretty much most of our targets are going to be in there.
I was going to ask around the guards at the all of the exits to town.
Okay. The town itself it has what looks to be an old wall. It hasn't been repaired or maintained by any means. It's not a it's not a walled settlement. So there are a lot of areas where people can leave actively, but the main entrances are the main paved and
Yeah,
roaded
on the roads.
areas. Yeah. There are 4 main ways out of here, so they will take a little bit of time to go around each of them, but with the natural speed that you otherwise have and
Yeah.
moving
I
around the
can
area.
I can leave the north exit until we head off, if that'll save time.
Yeah, that will save time, allow you to get back there in time and go from there. Okay. With that in mind, I would like yeah. Go ahead and make me an investigation group check each of you 2 groups. Either one person can roll with advantage from each group, or both people in each group can roll. You'll require a different information based on the areas that you have chosen to target.
Okay. Do you want me to roll with advantage as I've got a +7, Romulus? Or do you want to roll one?
It's probably better to provide you advantage. My only good thing is intimidation.
Okay, well, we can get to that when we need to talk and possibly get something from someone that's drunk. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not really any use beyond that. Having said that, I have seen your rolls. Tragic, just tragic.
You know what? Sorry, this is important information. I'm going to use my Tides of Chaos to re-roll the 3.
Okay.
Vinny, I'm going to say if you want to roll with advantage, because mine is literally a -2.
Okay then. Yes, I roll with advantage.
Oh, that was lucky.
Thank you for the advantage. Yeah, that is a investigation. That's a 15.
15 and Cat.
12.
12, 15. Okay. As you otherwise wander around, going through each of the taverns and the inns, there are a lot of taverns and inns, you're realizing, Cat, as you're going around this place. And as you are going through most of them, you ask them for this individual. Each of them kind of say no one's come through looking like that. When we get the adventurers that come through regularly, but none of that specific description. As you otherwise head into many and you don't find any information on them. Vinny, on the other hand, as you're as you're going around each of the gates, you head to the eastmost gate. And as you're otherwise there, you approach one of the guards and ask for this individual. And one of them says, "We've had a few cloaked individuals come through here recently. Can't say there are any by that specific description, but there have been some coming through wearing cloaks like what you said. Groups of 3 or 4. We had to check one of them. They seemed all right, and we left them on their way. Are there any other description or things you could tell us about them?"
My friend who would have been with them was a tall, older human. Dark hair, dark skin, big beard.
No, didn't have anybody of that particular description come through. No. Any other identifying features on them, perhaps?
This isn't like he's soliciting a bribe situation, is there?
Run me an insight check.
Uh, 18.
18. You can quite clearly tell, and with good confidence and certainty, that he's not withholding any information from you. There seems to be a genuine air of they've not seen this person. Now, that could be for various reasons. Maybe they weren't on shift. Maybe there's other relevance to it. You're uncertain. All you know at the moment is that apparently they haven't seen this individual leave town. But there were hooded figures of the description. All of them, if not most of them, have left during that time prior to WizardCon.
Okay. And that was all going out the east gate.
Yes, correct.
Okay. As far as other information goes, one of them might have been carrying a strange sword.
I mean, a few of them were carrying weapons of different types. One was using a staff. Some of the others had like crossbows or daggers on them. Usual weapon stuff for adventurers. I mean, one of them may have had a sword from their group. I mean, it was regular weapon stuff. I mean, we didn't catalog it too much. They had like the proper. I mean, they had the proper stuff for it. They weren't carrying anything contraband on them. They let us search them and go from there, really. Just don't remember them all too well, I'm afraid. Should we keep an eye out for individuals of this description or in future, or will it be alright?
I mean, I don't think they're going to be a danger or anything, but if you do happen to spot them, we may be coming back through this way.
Yeah, alright.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Who should I be looking out for? Coming back, I mean. If they come back through, sorry.
Oh, just any of them that match the description of my friend, or even if it's just people in hoods, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind knowing if they're that kind of cloak.
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay.
Okay. With that, you and your group meet back up with Kevin and head out the northmost gate and onto the road. So, as you're otherwise travelling, Kevin is mighty intrigued by Terador's presence, as Kat, you're riding on the back of Terador.
Yep.
As Terador is otherwise leading you along the road in a very thumping fashion. But the road itself is otherwise safe. So if someone would like to go ahead and roll me 2d12, please.
Well, I've been rolling crap all day, so someone else roll.
Shall I?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Okay, remind me what precise roll this is, because at this point my brain has turned to
D12.
mush.
This is 2d12. This is a... Oh, no, sorry. 3d8. My apologies.
Ah, okay. Well,
3d8 because you're on the road.
5, 7,
18.
6.
18. Okay, yeah. Travelling along the road is unimpeded. There is no issue along the way, and you encounter very little in your journey. But a day's travel goes by as you head from Berlin half the way up. Now, due to the nature of where the camps are, you can stop slightly early in order to get camp, but then you'll be 2 days away from Zakers, or you can camp in the wild. Or you can camp in the wild, and then you'll only be a day's journey from Zakers. Keep in mind you have to go up here anyway. So going here would mean you can make it in 2 days effectively.
We've been camping in the wild for the last feels like a week. Before WizardCon, I don't have an issue with the wild, but I also like the safety of the camps. It's entirely up to you.
I'd be willing to chance it. We've got a lot going on.
Okay.
Wouldn't mind speeding things up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wild is.
Okay. Going through the night watch, you each have to watch mainly on your own, given your party being so small. But Let me quickly see if anything eventful happens. No. Over the course of the night watch, nothing happens, even though you're off-road. The night goes by, and you arrive at the next day, marking off a ration for all of you. Marking off one of Kevin's rations, and he bought enough for the journey and back, so he has 6. Okay. Taking the next day, you otherwise travel out and to the Ghost Steel Chapel. So, I would like someone to go ahead and help me either a survival check or a perception check to try and get back to that same location. You know roughly how to get there. It's just a off-the-road path.
I can survive. I don't suppose Outlander gives me any benefits here.
Actually, no, it would, because you've been to this place before. So I'll say you can
Hell
have
yeah.
advantage for this.
Hell
and then
yeah.
one other person can perform a perception check if they wish.
Who's
Vinny,
perceptive?
you're the eye person, right? Ah, fuck, it's only a 12.
Okay, I will make a perception check as well then.
Can I get Jeff to help him?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Cool.
Yeah, given that Romulus had his own form of advantage, you can aid Vinny in this.
Okay.
So as Jeff's otherwise flying overhead, as you're otherwise wandering along, trying to relocate the area where you previously were. Well done for the advantage. That's
Got
2
advantage,
ones Vinny has
yeah.
deftly avoided.
We need to just keep Vinny going with advantage, otherwise we're in trouble.
Yeah,
Very true.
that's a 21.
Okay, 21. With the 21 and with Romulus's Outlander feature in this instance, still coming in helpful, you managed to blaze a trail there quite easily and soundly. I would like, I'd say in this instance, Vinny, do you want to go ahead and roll me 2d12? Just to see if anything happens while you're in the wild.
So was that Vinny?
Yeah.
Vinny here, yeah. 2d12. I'll move the... Oh, that's right.
No worries.
Thirteen.
13.
Travel seems to be otherwise unimpeded. You don't seem to see anything of interest. But as you do begin to approach, you can see the old ruined village. You can see the mosque, you can see the old chapel, and you can see the boarded up windows for it all. Nothing seems to have happened here since you last came through. There's no interest, there's no groups of people. It's deserted, much the same.
Right.
So this is the place.
Mm-hmm.
What time of day is it now?
I'd say it's probably early afternoon, or early evening, sorry, so somewhere near 4 or 5 o'clock. Or getting on to evening, I should say.
Okay. Yeah, we should probably head in before it gets dark.
Yeah.
How do you get in?
If I remember correctly, there was a circle around the place,
Mm-hmm.
which was keeping the
ghosts out, yeah.
yeah
A fate line of salt.
yeah. And so as long as we don't
Believe we delicately step over it.
Yeah, you can. You otherwise try the door, and you remember that he has barricaded it from the other side.
Shit.
Oh yeah, we need him to open.
Graham!
There doesn't seem to be any answer.
he's not nocturnal, is he?
He is. He disappears during the day, if I recall rightly. What is it, locked or is it just barricaded?
It's just barricaded. It's not locked.
Okay, so should be able to push it.
You
Require-
push it, and the barricade that's otherwise barring it on the other side is preventing it
Oh,
from
heck-
going inwards.
Heck, I'm not pushing it. With a strength of 8, that ain't happening. Titania breaks doors.
Simon, I trust you to be vaguely intelligent about things. Should I just open this door?
I can't remember how we got in last time. I think he just opened it for us.
Yeah, he just unbarricaded
Yeah.
it.
He unbarricaded it, yeah.
I believe I wasn't here for that episode.
No, not yet. Oh, wait, no. Oh, no, you were with the party. I don't think you were...
Yeah, but I wasn't present on that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You were there for the mini reward on the next session, I believe. It was when you were walking through the chapel like Crowley does.
Oh. Mhm.
So, in theory, we should be able to just push the barricade out the way. It's more the concern of the structural integrity of the door.
The barricade in question is just like a beam of wood that's been placed across the door to hold it in place.
Oh, okay. No, mage hand isn't going to work. I would need something stronger. How big's the gap between the two doors?
It's not airtight by any means.
Is it big enough to shove something through it?
Depends on the something, but probably.
Actually, the floor here. What is this? It's just
Loose earth into worked stone.
okay. How does earth glide work?
Terador can move through unworked stone, I believe. So he can't move to the inside, but he can glide through the outside without any worries.
Yeah, okay, right. That doesn't help.
Hey, boss, you want us to look around? Boss, you
Go for
listening?
it. Yeah. See
Alright.
what can be done.
The two of them otherwise take off and begin to fly around the area. You can hear chattering and talking between the two of them as they begin to have like various conversations.
Anything interesting or on topic?
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
That one.
No, as you otherwise look up, you're like, they're fine. And you see that they both just they both sat on the roof and just begun talking to one another.
You idiots. This is the help I'm given.
Okay, I have a rough idea. Can the familiars see through the window? Remember we did
Yes,
send
they
them.
could.
Okay,
Yeah.
can I send Jeff round to the window, looking through his eyes?
Yeah.
Right, and
Yeah.
I am going to cast...
Does Jeff have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and I am going to cast Summon Elemental behind the door.
You can only cast touch-based spells through your familiar.
No, but I can cast myself. With a 90
Oh, I
range.
see. So you're just using
Yeah.
Jeff's vision in order to
It's
cast the spell.
essentially, yes,
Okay.
'cause I need line of sight to where I want him
Okay.
to be.
Yeah, sure. You
So-
otherwise kind of tap your staff. Oh wait, was
No,
your staff?
I haven't got the staff yet, so it's just
No, the
gonna be a
staff hasn't been
humanoid
enchanted yet.
elemental.
Okay. In this instance, you otherwise just begin to almost using Sitania's guidance in doing so. You begin to work the elements behind the door itself as what kind of elemental are you making?
I'm going to make an earth because I don't want to break anything.
Okay. As the earth elemental is otherwise pulled into existence on the other side of the door, the rest of you are kind of hearing this magic begin to take place before there's a light thud on the other side. As the beam is then lifted up and off of the door before the door opens, this large earth elemental standing before you. You watch as momentarily as you otherwise look in, seeing the door opened, you can see that there is a ghost with a claw hammer just beginning to take swings at your elemental.
Okay, if I drop concentration, he disappears, right?
Yes, he does.
Okay, I'm going to drop concentration after thanking him for
Mm-hmm.
the help. Hey, wait, we're not.
Oh, it's you lot again.
We wanted to get in before it hit night, and we ended up being barraged by stuff. We also didn't want to break the door. So...
Oh no, that's fair. I didn't hear you knocking.
We've just knocked.
You could have just knocked.
Yeah.
All Romulus shouted, but he didn't knock. Oh, well, welcome. Yes, come in, and do take a seat if you need to. Who's your friend? As as Kevin otherwise walks in. Nice to meet you. Name's Kevin. I'm on a duty from this lot. I wanted to learn the trade of ghost steel making. We can certainly try. You kind of have to be dead to make it, though. Close enough. He always wanders in with his pack, lays it down next to the forge.
Just give a look to Graham and shrug.
I question why you do this, but okay. And feel free to take a weapon. That is my usual rule. It's useful for Kevin. Otherwise, rushes over, kind of picks up a weapon. Pull! Shoves it in his pack. All right, let's get started, Ghost Man.
I'm gonna go over to Graham. Hey, thank you for making that needle last time. Though, I think some point miscommunication was had. Is it possible to hollow this out, as I need it for a syringe?
Sure, I can. I mean, if I'm teaching him and helping you, that might be a bit difficult, but I can try.
If it's possible, I would appreciate it. If not, then... well... I would appreciate it.
I'll try. We got plenty of time.
Thank you very much.
He otherwise wanders over to Kevin, or floats over to Kevin and just goes, "My name's Graham, by the way." Don't care. Let's go. This is part of a deal.
I am so sorry about him.
All right. So, I'm going to roll on Graham's behalf. Okay, Graham's a good teacher. And Kevin is old enough to learn how to make ghost steel.
1 foot in the grave.
Yep. None of you lot can learn how to make it because you're not dead enough. All right.
Give me a few more years with Cat and I'll get there.
Yeah, that's fair.
What if I'm
Wow.
on the inside? Does that... Let's find out.
We haven't figured that one out yet. That doesn't make ghost steel, that makes something else. So,
if it's all
as
possible, I
you-
will be watching just to pick up anything I
Yeah.
can.
yeah, you'll be picking up just the general tricks here and there. As Curve, you're otherwise uncomfortable. The door, Graham does close the door behind, and you can hear, "Hey, boss, we kind of been left outside. You gonna come get us?"
What, are you guys afraid?
No, just, want to make sure you're all right, is all. Yeah, we just want to make sure you're okay. Gotta do our jobs.
I heavy sigh and say, can we let my idiots in?
Romulus is busy watching the smithing, so Kat and Vinny, you're the only ones who can really attend this.
I mean, the door's shut.
How heavy is the...
What's the time? What is... It's
It's
night
a
outside, right?
It's getting close to night, yeah. It's a solid wooden beam, but it's not, like, too heavy for either of you to lift.
Okay.
We can open the door a crack and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
let them fly in, yeah? Right then, just tell them to be quick.
When we
Okay.
open this door, you guys better get your asses in here.
All right, sounds good.
I'm assuming logistic. Is Terrador in here, or was it?
No,
too
Terrador
small?
is outside underground.
Okay, cool. That was gonna be my go-to response.
Yeah.
Cool. That's fine.
Terrador can't enter buildings. Not because he's a vampire, just because he's too big.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure. I was like, churches have pretty big doors. I don't know if this is big enough, but no, failing if you
It'll
can't
be
get
it'll
in
be big
somewhere.
enough for him to walk in, he's just gonna make a mess.
Yeah, no, we'll leave him outside and he can sleep underground.
Yeah.
He's safe there.
Okay. You open the doors as you watch as Eugene and Filch otherwise fly in. Do you want them to be on your shoulders or?
They make themselves comfy wherever they want, I guess.
Okay. If I remember correctly, Filch is the not so smart one, or is Filch the smart one?
Filch is the smart one that sounds like a gangster.
Ah, yes.
Eugene.
So you what? So Filch otherwise lands on your shoulder, and you hear him say, "Hey, Eugene, why don't you have a look around, see what you can find?" He's like, "Okay." And you watch he otherwise flies off and lands on the floor for a moment before you watch as he incinerates in fire.
Oh.
Thought that would happen. Hey, boss, why you staying in sanctified ground? We can't be in here.
You guys wanted to be in here.
We didn't know you was gonna stay in here like an idiot. This place is bad for us. It's bad for you.
I can handle it.
You okay?
Yeah,
there,
sure
Curve?
you can.
You okay there, Curve?
Yep.
No, she's not all right.
You sure you're right?
Are you going to believe the bird or are you going to believe me?
I
You
don't
just
hear
hear the
the
bird
bird.
cawing, Cat.
I just heard screaming.
Oh, yeah, they can't hear. Yeah.
It's the best one-sided conversation nobody else can hear.
Yeah. I mean, you spent the night in here with us last time, so I assume you're fine. But
They seem
one of your
distressed.
birds is... Well, one of them seems distressed.
They just can't handle their sanctified ground.
I mean, Vinny, you watched as one of them just burst into flames
Yeah.
and died, and
Oh.
the other ones...
Yeah.
So,
And the other one is distressed, yeah.
so familiars,
what I was getting
you
at.
can send your
That's right.
familiars away and then bring them back.
Okay.
And I'll sort of try and run her through and show her how it's done with Jeff, for example.
Okay.
I'll be bringing him
Yeah.
back though, because
You've
I
just-
trust him on his own.
So you otherwise watch as Cat otherwise unsummons Jeff for a moment, then poofs him back a moment later, not too far from where Cat otherwise is. As Jeff was still sat outside looking in, given that was his last command, and is otherwise poofed out of existence and pulled to Cat's shoulder.
Oh yeah, I left him on the windowsill. Oh Jeff, for God's sake!
He'd have
I've-
died overnight by being
initiative.
attacked by ghosts.
Come on.
Am I
Okay.
able to bring Eugene back or is Eugene gone for the day?
You're gonna have to wait till the end of the day. You're gonna have to wait till you wake up tomorrow. I'm sure he'll be on the roof by then.
On the roof?
Yeah, he'll fly in. He's got a journey ahead of him.
Oh, this roof. I thought you meant the roof you guys first showed up on. And I was like, no, we're not going back.
No,
Not for
nah,
Eugene.
he's got a bit of a journey ahead of him. He's got to be sent back.
Well, you make sure you don't stand on this floor, alright?
All right. Okay.
So Curve
Uh,
is aware that she can send them back, but Curve is not going to. Curve secretly loves these guys, but she would not admit.
Okay. Over the course of the training, Kevin is kind of taking notes, taking things in, and he does proceed to begin to make ghost steel. Like you said, one foot in the grave certainly helps with this. As the night comes through and goes by, you can hear the sound of clattering things being thrown at the door, as always. Before you otherwise have a rest for the night. Cat, your needle is returned to you with a hole bored through it. It is in good shape.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very
And
much.
then the next morning, as you all otherwise wake, the day ahead of you, Kevin otherwise looks back and goes, "I'm going to be staying here for the time being. You keep going on with your adventures. I'll wait here. I'll learn a few things, maybe teach him a few things, and then I'll head back.
Okay.
The shop
stay
will be
safe.
fine. Yeah, of course. And don't leave, and I won't leave at night.
Okay.
Right.
Say, you don't happen to have any spare rations, do you? I only bought enough for my journey here and journey back, but just in case this takes more than 4 days, I might need an extra one."
I can give him one.
Okay, you give him one of your rations. "Thank you kindly. I also noticed one of your birds turned into smoke and fire when it hit the ground.
He's fine.
Is the other one up for food?"
Up for food?
I could
I
turn him into
believe,
ashes.
yes,
I think you could do
edible
with a
bird.
snack, yeah?
I believe the smith wishes to consume your bird.
Excuse me?
Okay, so you know what chicken is, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I know what a hell chicken is.
Okay, so you know how it's a bird.
Remember, there are no hell chickens. Remember where chickens come from.
Technically, they're abyssal, but never mind.
They're abyssal chickens, yeah.
Oh,
I know what abyssal chickens are.
All right, so you know how that's a bird, kind of.
Yes.
Well, your birds are also birds. And just as an abyssal chicken can be made into delicious food, so can other birds.
I kind of
Gonna say if this fat one tries to eat me, I'm gonna pick his eyes out next time I'm back.
Do you want me to break your neck?
You can't hear him. You just hear cawing.
I can read tone. Also,
Hey,
did you
can't.
I read
also
bird.
did you know that did you know that crows and ravens actually can speak? They can learn to talk
I know, but these ones just choose not to because they're annoying.
because they're assholes.
No, I kind of need this one to stick around. I say to the guy.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. All right. Well, thank you for the food and safe journeys ahead of you.
You
Okay.
too.
Good luck.
Okay.
Oh, what about the deal? Romulus?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Completely forgot.
I will
The
hand
other
over
ways-
the money. You will hand over
Yep.
the
Sounds
weapon.
good. He otherwise
Cool.
takes out the scroll of paper, slaps the top of it, and you see he otherwise mutters a few words before you watch as the half blade appears on the surface of the main altar where the other weapons were placed, and otherwise goes, "There you go, money, please."
I hand it over begrudgingly. And
Okay.
what is this one called again? Stagger?
Stagger, yes,
And its range is 10 feet, I believe.
because it's a half blade. Yes.
And what's its damage?
Stagger is a Stagger is a +1 half blade, so that is a 2d6 for the damage plus the plus the +1 into the formula. That's +1 to hit and +1 to damage. It being of excellent quality, I just need to remind myself what excellent quality does for your weapon. Oh, I'm in the wrong file. It would help if I went to the right one.
I am desperately trying to work out where to add the +1 in the thing.
Oh, actually, hold on. This, hold on. I need to. Okay, let me go to your character sheet and I'll add it for you real quick, just to help out with what this does.
Probably smart.
Stagger, strength, 10 foot. That gets a +1 because it's a +1 weapon.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The +1 will go here, and it does. It does the 2d6 as it normally should, because it is of an excellent quality. It does an additional 1 damage on top of that, so it would be a 2d6 plus 7 slashing damage.
Oh.
Plus, due to the nature of it being an excellent weapon, hold on. Due to the nature of it being an excellent weapon, you get to roll the damage dice twice and take the higher results.
Oh.
So you have advantage on the damage dice.
Oh, that is delightful.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to make a note of that somewhere. Do you have like a full description of it anywhere, or is it just...
The magical effect I have in a description of it. Otherwise, that's just the effect of what the rest of it is. So that's the description for Stagger. I don't have a description in terms of what it looks like, just that it's an attunement-based weapon.
That is A-okay.
So let me just do this real quick for you.
Luckily, an immovable rod is absolutely not A.
Just as well. Okay. Well, thank you kindly, and safe journeys. Okay. As you otherwise head outside, Eugene otherwise lands back on your shoulder, Curve. I'm back.
Oh,
Oof.
how was it?
Rough. The boss wasn't happy with my death so soon.
Was
Said I
that
need to be more
you?
careful.
Oh. So the boss, that lord.
Your boss.
Yep.
Yeah.
How is he these days?
Well, like he always is.
A real dick.
You know, not the kind of person you want to hang out with, but the kind of person you should still, because he's good at stuff. He's powerful. He's connected. You know.
All right, I didn't ask if you had a crush on him.
Do you have a crush on him? I can't hear the. Well, actually, no. I would have heard Curve side.
You would have heard Curve say, "Do you have a crush on him?"
Do you have a crush on him? And who's him also?
Are you asking me if I have the crush or the birds?
Both of you, I guess. I'm kind of confused by the whole one-sided conversation.
Uh, they have a crush on the boss.
Ah.
I wouldn't call it a crush. More of a workplace admiration.
A workplace admiration. I
Okay.
repeat and quote with quotey fingers.
I can't do that. He flaps his wings.
Oh,
You and your
Well-
human things. What does it mean?
I'm not a human.
You're immortal.
Some mortals can't do that either.
Yeah, well. You bipedal long leggy arm things. What does flaps his wings this mean?
Don't you worry your little head about it, all right?
You know what? Fuck this.
Elsh, what does it mean?
I'm doing the bee speech thing again. It's gonna take me a bit because it's, but I'll get there eventually.
You'll get there eventually. Well, you see, Eugene, it means that she's being an asshole.
Excuse me.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Do you guys work for me or not?
I mean, we sorta do.
You
We work
sorta
for you in the
do?
fact that we take orders from you, but we work for the boss, mainly. The person in charge. You're just the, second best.
The second best.
Technically fourth, but,
Fourth. You guys gotta be careful, all right?
Why?
How much HP?
Why we gotta be careful? We come back. There's nothing you can do. We come
Yeah,
back each day.
not without a slap on the wing from the big
Well,
guy.
well, so what if you do? So what? All we can do is we can come back. We can start helping your enemies, That's what we're good at.
Yeah, but when you die, who do you go back to?
The boss. He
And
just
you-
asks what happened, and we just say she just threw us into a pit and threw us on the consecrated ground, set us on fire. You know how it is.
Oh, so now you're spreading lies.
I never said we tell the truth. We're from hell. You know how
I'd
it
like
is.
to
These things
unfollow
happen.
These guys for a while.
He disappeared.
I finger snap and they disappear, both of them. Oh, I can think now. Hi, Romulus.
Sorry, what was that? I
I
just
like to
finished my
imagine that
ritual.
all of us are just staring at Curve at this point.
So I only caught like the back end of that, but I think the bird has a crush on Curve's boss and has been bad mouthing Curve to their
Said
boss.
Mm-hmm.
In what I can only assume is an attempt at workplace romance.
That's
And just-
adorable.
It's nice.
Mm.
And just to
Or-
clarify, this again is the boss from hell.
Yes, the Hell Boss. Do we?
Love
Do,
that show.
do any of us have a name for this individual?
Lord of Crows.
Okay,
Get
Lord of
it?
Crows
Red
is a
Crows,
title.
Lord of Crows, you know.
Yes, got it. Crow Daddy, whatever.
Ooh.
I like to just physically see the cringe.
You
Mm.
do.
No,
And Curve, as you're otherwise standing there, you almost feel this faint squealing come from your scythe.
How about
Like,
Papa Crouch?
it stopped squealing. It's okay with that.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Who
You know what?
likes Papa Crow?
Look, we like that. We like that.
Papa Croach, specifically.
Croach.
All right.
But I don't think he really experiences romantic affection. I really tried to flirt my way out of this. I did, but it did not
Okay.
work.
Curve.
Yeah.
Do you think that might be because you're not the most skilled when it comes to the ancient art of seduction?
She holds her
Oh,
finger
here we
up
go.
to retort, and then every like romantic interaction she's ever had goes through her brain, and she's like, "Shit, he's right."
Don't worry, we'll go to a bar in Zeka's Crossing. Find you a nice whatever you're into.
I'm not looking to make a happy married life here in this plane, all right?
Oh, who said anything about that?
Can't rule this out. I mean, you might find a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a friend. I don't really know, understand.
You know, why do you guys just expect that I must be single?
Because you
Uh,
absolutely are.
I don't know. She could be going out with this crow daddy.
no.
No, she tried. She literally just
Yeah.
said she tried and failed
I
horribly.
mean, you could try again. You have the
Hmm.
beard on your side now. Maybe
Well,
that's
that
what
is
he's into.
true.
Mm.
Beard
Oh yeah, speaking of beards, during the
facial hair
night, Cat
is
sneezed.
incredibly attractive. I am well aware of this.
Yeah.
With my
You-
full face of fur.
Yeah. Just as a general note, you note that Cat has lost her beard. She has left a full pile of feathers back in the chapel where she sneezed during the night.
Oh,
Gaming muted for the sneeze itself, but it did actually happen.
Yeah.
So you say to women like beards? Nothing. Should we get on?
I find that generally people are attracted to a face that is covered in hair, although this may simply be because most of the people I knew growing up were covered in hair. The details are inconclusive.
Literally every member of your village was covered in hair.
Looks at you, looks at his pieces.
This does remind me, though. Actually, I'm not. I don't think I went into it much before, but does anyone legitimately know where I could get a star?
like an actual star, like a points to the sky, up star.
Just a star. I mean, look, we seem possibly when we get to Zaka's and everything goes to plan, and I get the goose and I go home, I kind of need to bring a star back too.
Right.
A
Well,
specific one, or will any do?
I don't know. We don't have stars, so it just.
Oh, I
She just
remember.
wanted a star, okay?
Oh, I remember when I was young and whenever I used to go and do things that I shouldn't have done, but then did my research. My parents used to give me these little shiny gold stars.
Yes, that sounds perfect.
Okay, next time we go to the shop, I'm buying some sticker stars for Curve every time she's a good girl.
Okay.
God.
Okay. So, speaking of, Curve, why don't you roll me 2d12, please? Actually, no, 3d8 because you are moving through farmland here.
3d8s. Which one are the d8s?
The red ones.
The red ones. Why am I rolling these?
At this stage, we're going to go for an entire session of
16.
fighting.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Would you be able to now roll me 2d8, please?
I'm scared.
8.
8.
Okay. As you're otherwise traveling through the farmlands, the weather itself is nice. It's a calm
Woo.
day. You've otherwise had a wonderful time at WizardCon, and the weather has held, it seems. It is calmed nicely. It's a nice warm day out. The autumnal colours are coming through far more vibrantly now in certain areas. You can see that the autumn crops are beginning to grow and beginning to flourish. You can see that animals are being brought in a little bit earlier during the day, but they're still existing out and about. You can see quite happily what looks to be various orchards and people working in them as they are collecting kind of the late apples and pears as they're gathering things up and preparing for the harvest, shall we say. As you're otherwise kind of taking this time during the day, it travels relatively quickly. And while you're moving along the road, a particular individual, one of the farmers, kind of sees you walking along the dirt road nearby and offers you all a lift, as you're otherwise all led to the edge of Zaker's Crossing in good speed and good time. So your day has hastened. So you arrive at Zaker's Crossing, I'd say about 2 p.m.
Woo.
Huh.
I will note, as you are traveling along, there is a moment where, due to the nature of this, it shouldn't really be a hastened travel, but there is a moment where the horse panics and sprints as Terador hits the edge of the Zaker's Bridge and can't meld into it, and so has to walk. And as a result, the horse panics and startles, rushing off a little bit ways ahead, pulling the cart at a high speed before you calm it down and Terador picks up afterwards.
Okay, looks like he's walking now. Okay.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
That's right.
Wow.
Might be a good time to take our break, actually, just because it's about
Sure.
that time, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so take a quick five-minute break, go and grab yourself some drinks, some snacks. Have those on stream, don't go anywhere, and we'll be back with the party getting back into Zaker's Crossing. Go back.
All right, what are we going to be doing to entertain chat whilst we're waiting? No? Okay.
Well, I'm going to BRB in just a second, but
Well, I'm going to start using a cowboy voice to have a little bit of fun with it. Howdy, y'all. Welcome to D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, and a word that it has cowboy connotations that begins with D. I genuinely can't think of any. Howdy, y'all. There we go. Now, I'm trying to think of something to say to entertain chat. If there's a Dan out there, you poor bastard, I'm sorry that you're gonna have to deal with our bunch of crazies. There's a couple birds. There's a weird kid that keeps summoning birds and durgans and, well, horrifying elemental creatures that may or may not be evil at certain points in time. We got Vinny, who, as far as I can tell, is the mysterious Han Solo-esque character. A certain level of, what you call it? Troubled mystique. And then there's me, Romulus. Just a big cow. I ain't got nothing else but that. Saying that, I reckon we're doing all right so far. We're not dead yet. I am so sorry, chat. Yeah, well.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I reckon that it's probably best we got you back, because otherwise I was just going to keep talking like this for the entire
Uh-oh.
time.
What did you
Oh,
do?
yeah. I don't know. What did I do?
Harlem?
What?
You better not have done any bad things.
When you say bad things, what's a bad thing?
Influencing chat with political statements or telling them they're wrong.
I just basically offered my commiserations towards Dan, the poor bastard.
Why? Because he's
He's
going to
gonna
join the campaign?
Yeah, he's gonna have to deal with us crazies.
Yeah, that's fair. Dan, if you are watching this, he only says it in the nicest way.
What have I returned to?
We're just
I mean,
taking our break.
A
Oh,
surprising amount of
I forgot.
horrifying monstrosities that we must deal with in our eternal darkness that we trudge through.
Meanwhile, I have some nondescript chocolate biscuits and one that may or may not contain jam.
Oh,
Ah. I don't suppose it's got a very high dex score, does it?
Yep,
Excellent.
it is indeed a dodger. Anyway,
aha! Victory.
so as you all arrive in Zaker's Crossing, you arrive at the Waygates. The same thing that you've seen from plenty of times before, but a reminder of what you see as you enter. The city itself lies before you on top of Zaker's Crossing, the bridge built by individuals centuries or eons ago, an unremembered amount of time ago, but has since survived the dangers that have traversed and caused problem across this land, and still exists as such. The Waygates, as they are, is a massive archway that spans the length of the bridge from left to right, with various supports through it, making up multiple archways and entrances for people to come through with carts and all sorts. The farmer in question, who otherwise kind of lets you off the cart before heading through a specific gate that they have to head through for produce and goods, you otherwise gathered back up and begin to head towards the Waygate as an individual kind of lifts their hand, wanders over. One of the watchmen that you don't know them specifically, but you know who the watchmen are. You're coming into Zakers?
Yeah.
That's right.
And what's with the elemental?
Oh, he's my friend. Carries my stuff for me.
I see. Do you have a license for it?
Seriously, we have licenses for. No. How do I get a license for this?
I didn't even know this was a thing I could do.
I didn't know I could get a license.
No, I'm asking because I don't know if you need one.
Well, as far as I aware, no. But I can ask when I get up to
If it's,
the mages school. They might have an idea if I need one.
Yes.
Are you on the
Cattle-
way to the major school?
No, but I've been there before because I competed in the competition last time. So I can ask them. I'll
Fair
find out
enough.
where it is.
He is a magic apprentice, if that helps at all.
I mean, it does. If you've got proof of apprenticeship, then we can
I'll show him
otherwise forward
my
it to the.
documentation for the scholarship.
Okay, as he otherwise takes in. Oh, a scholarship. I'm just gonna roll with advantage to see if he knows who this is. Oh, yeah. By all means, you have clearance to head through. Welcome, welcome, Kat, and well done with the scholarship and your strong friends.
Thank you.
Just don't go causing any trouble.
Don't plan to.
Good. And be careful with that thing. It's about as big as a cart. Just make sure it doesn't step on anybody.
No, we'll be
And
making sure.
if possible, try not to let any kids climb on it either. They might cause some trouble.
No, that's absolutely fine. That is not a problem. I will make sure to keep everyone safe.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right then. I'd like everybody to go ahead and roll me a d6. Anybody who rolls lower than a 5 goes through without worry. Anybody who rolls a 5 or higher is going to be searched. At which point, I'll be asking the party for contraband in their inventory.
Oh shit!
You say D6.
A d6. A 5 and a 6, and you are searched.
I get by. You know what? I
Cat
get my
specifically,
clean.
you for cat specifically, you will get in this case you will have disadvantage because you want to take the lower one. So advantage because you get to pick the one that you want. So you can roll again.
What should be
What did you
another?
get? What did you get? I want to know actually.
Okay.
Wait, what did? So okay, so what did you get, Cat? Then
I got 2 6s.
okay. Okay, so I need to make an investigation check through your inventory unless you wish to hand over any contraband. This will be checks versus checks.
As far as I'm aware, actually, I don't know. I need to ask the logistics of this because I'm pretty sure Curve has got the other 3 blood crystals.
Curve has 1.
And I rolled a 4.
Yeah, Curve got 1 of them because she took it and used it. You have 4 in your pocket bag.
I have 4 in my pocket bag because when we harvested, I harvested the 4. Curve harvested 4. I did. Did you give them to me then after?
I will check my inventory, but I'm pretty sure I did.
Okay.
Because otherwise I wouldn't have asked you for the... No, I don't have any.
Okay, then in that case, I would have wanted to bank the 3 that I have got, so I wasn't carrying them.
Bank them how?
When we were at the other place before we left, Braidlin, was it?
Yeah.
Pocket.
You mean putting it in the pocket or putting it in the bank of iron?
Putting it in the bank of iron wrapped. When Romulus put his stuff in the bank account.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. In this instance, I will say, having the forethought and knowing about this. Romulus, what did you get? Your d6.
Oh, I got a 2.
Cat Curve got a 4. Vinny, what did you get?
I got a 6 as well.
Okay. I will say this. Given that you've been through before and you had to dump some of your stuff and you are looking to keep these blood crystals, you may make me a singular d20 roll. On an 11 or higher, you remembered to bank it. On a 10 or lower, it is still on your persons because it slipped your memory.
Okay. 13.
You remembered to bank it, so knock off due to the cost of blood crystals in an unrefined state. This will put you back 1 gold.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Cool. Okay.
Okay, so Vinny or Cat, do either of you have contraband on you?
Don't believe so. I've got a lot of stuff, but I don't think any of it's illegal.
Cat?
No. Apart from the crystals which are banked, no.
Okay. I'm going to take a quick look through your inventories and then make investigation checks if I see anything that's contraband.
Go for it.
I do like the idea that I got by from being checked because objectively I think I look quite suspicious on the fact that I am the biggest hulkingest. Like, yeah, no, we're just not gonna fuck with that.
I'm trying to work out who's currently got the ground up blood crystal, because I don't think that was handed over, was it?
That will be on Vinny then, I believe, because you have the pouch. Yeah, you do.
No, we put it all together. Remember?
Did you?
Thought we did.
From what you picked up in from the demonic dwarves place, Vinny, I believe you picked up the small one which contained gemstones, the then the bag that contained the dust residue, and then and the book as well. Or did you give them all to Cat?
Can't remember.
I
think
know that I've got the diamond and the emerald. The emerald is now Terador.
yeah,
I
I've definitely got the
remember.
book as well.
I remember specifically requesting that we make sure to get this shit like packed away in the magic pocket as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And I remember that conversation going of, there's already 4 blood crystals in there, we can't get the bag in there as well. So how about this then? I'd like everyone to roll me a d20. The person with the lowest is going to be the one who has the bag on them. We'll say that it's been passed around.
I mean, in all fairness, if Vinny did give me the thing, then
4,
that will
yes.
be in the pocket bag, because I used... No, I didn't use one. No. Well, I'll roll the d20 anyway. 20. Oh, look.
I got a 4. It's on me, and I don't
Okay.
get searched.
Yeah, so Romulus, you otherwise have the bag on you. We'll say it's adjacent to your war crime dust, and they don't search you, so you're fine. Which, by the way, is technically illegal.
No, I defy you to find me the law.
It's called war crime dust.
Well, yeah, but they don't
What's...
know that. It's not got a label on it saying war crime dust.
Yeah, I've not labeled it. Come on. But just a quick question. This is more important than anything. Does the Geneva Convention exist in this world?
It's not called the Geneva Convention, but...
Then it's not a war crime.
No, it's the Infernal Convention.
Yeah.
Besides, the Burden Convention.
It's only a war
Yeah.
crime if I do it on an innocent or if I do so without appropriate provocation.
That's fair. That is fair. So, you enter the city. The watchman otherwise goes, "Right, well, you're all clear to go through. Enjoy your time in the city, and stay out of trouble."
Will do.
I will do.
Okay. Where is your first port of call?
We should probably go to the Pioneers Guild and complete our quest there.
Makes sense.
And then, if possible, I'd like to speak to the Taskmaster.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got that correct.
Okay.
And I kind of also need to nip up to the magic school to see if I need a license.
Well, the magic school is right nearby to you, so...
Okay. Then...
Because it's... The magic school is... The closest of those 3 stops, the magic school is on the way to the Pioneers Guild. So.
Okay, so should we go to... We'll do that in that order then. Should we go to magic school, Pioneers, and then go and seek the Taskmaster?
Yeah.
And then...
Makes sense, yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Heading towards the magic school, you otherwise approach mostly the edge of the stacks. As you remember, the school is otherwise almost like a stair shape, as it is built up across multiple stack layers. It's more reinforced than the rest of it, more well designed as such for it. Has some open grounds at the one side of it, a few bits of raised platform that have been set up to be used as gardening. You can see a set of grounds which are used for dueling, and it's got its own winch that otherwise leads down to the gorge below. As you otherwise approach and head inside of the school itself, what look to be the same kind of magical knights that you saw before are otherwise standing outside, keeping guard. And as you approach, one of them kind of goes, "You'll have to leave the elemental outside."
Oh, that's fine. I mean, I'm just come. Maybe you'd know actually as a guard. Do I need a license for my elemental in the city?
You only need one. You're only going to need one if you're using it if it's taking the purpose of a bodyguard or something similar. If it attacks anyone, you haven't got the license, then you're found guilty for it. If you've just using it for transport purposes, then you should be fine, provided you've got transport or trading license.
Okay. How do I go about getting it? Because he's my guardian elemental.
Well, if he's one of your summons, or something of a similar nature, you can go about it by going to otherwise one of the company registrations if you want to go and get yourself a trader's license. If it is your bodyguard, then you're going to need to get a magical permit license. To do that, you will need to otherwise head inside and pay for one of those. It costs 2,000 gold for a magical creation license. But that's the nature of it.
Okay. Right. Is there scholarship discounts?
If you have a scholarship,
I have a scholarship, and I'll show him my documentation.
he otherwise looks it over. Then you don't need a license. Then scholarship covers this all in its benefits and permits.
Okay, so if I get stopped, I can just show them this, and everything should be okay.
Yeah, provided your summon doesn't lose control, you should be fine using the scholarship as a way of basically backing up its presence.
Okay.
Same goes for any guards that may try to stop you because of it or anything similar.
Okay. No, that's excellent. Just something I wanted to check because I don't want to get into trouble for that or cause any trouble. But okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you so much.
That's all right. Do be careful while you take it within the city. If you take it to the upper floors, it's most likely going to crash straight through and cause some damage. So you'll need to leave it on the lower floors.
That will be very much the case. Yeah, I will make sure to not cause any harm to the surrounding area or the people.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not a problem. Okay.
All right then.
Well, thank you very much. Hope you have a nice day, and I'm going to run back to everyone.
You too. Otherwise nods, looking to the rest of you as you now know your answer.
Okay, cool. This scholarship is very useful.
Where can I get one?
Get good.
Oh.
You just hear from within the safe.
I guess you just need to get noticed by someone strong.
Oh yes, and that's what got me into this fucking situation.
Do you not have any scholarship paperwork with your person that you serve? Oh.
I don't think he does paperwork.
Oh.
I think he does murder.
Probably not something you want to show people. Okay. Alright. Well, should we go to the Pioneers Guild then and finish our task?
Might as well. Let's go.
Okay. Heading over to the Pioneers Guild, you head to the exterior of it. The dim light of the section of the dark alleys nearby, otherwise almost shadows it to a sense as you come to the edge of the large stone building. As you otherwise arrive at it, you can see that there are plenty of individuals in full swing of talking and chatting and discussing and all sorts. As you otherwise do approach, or otherwise enter, leaving Terador outside for the sake of the size of him, you otherwise note the interior, otherwise having a look around. Go ahead and roll me a perception check to see if you can find your specific individual.
I'm going to use Jeff.
Okay.
I'll go Jeff. 10.
10 for Jeff.
15 over here.
Okay. With the 10 for Jeff, Jeff otherwise kind of has a look around. Jeff can't seem to see anybody sticking out from the crowd. But-
Third brain.
Yep. But as you're otherwise looking around, as you're otherwise having a look around, Romulus, you see Tenema not far from you, sat on a stool, not too far away, kind of just dangling her legs over the edge. Has what looks to be a few maps that she's currently in conversation with an individual before they kind of nod, putting a bag of coin on, and then she rolls it up and passes it to them. Before she kind of stands up, wanders over to an area and begins to chat to one of the other vendors in the area. But you spot her.
Let's go.
Okay. I'll head over there.
Okay. You otherwise head over, and as you otherwise reach her, she otherwise turns and sees your company and goes, good to see that you've gotten back, and I take it that means that it was either a roaring success or a complete bore. Your stunned silence is deafening. What did you do? How did it go?
Well, we went there.
Yeah.
It was, is haunted the right word, Cat?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm gonna go with yes.
There
You
were
dealt with
spirits of
ghosts.
some. There were spirits of some denomination there.
Right. So it wasn't
And-
quite abandoned. Got it.
No, not quite abandoned. We took a lot of notes, and a few bits and pieces, samples. But unfortunately, when we finished exploring, it appeared to have reached some sort of terminus situation and collapsed somewhat.
Right. Well, I mean, a success is still a success. Ghosts are ghosts.
They
Were there any people there?
There were 3 bodies, I believe.
Okay.
There was a sentient spirit rabbit that pulled Max.
Okay.
It exploded.
Okay.
It appeared to be part of the whole. It appeared to be some sort of magical test almost that was set up there. And
An exploding rabbit is a magical test. Okay.
We'll do the whole rundown properly. We'll do a whole rundown and hand that over, because on the face of it, it seems a bit absurd. And I would rather.
You're telling me.
Yes. However, we have completed the assignment as requested.
Yeah, no, that's quite right. You've completed it and done well. Well, in such a case, then that'll be a pass, and so that knocks it further up in terms of your calibration. You're proven to be quite skilled adventurers at your task. Okay. The 3 individuals who died there, or 3 bodies that you found, did you know who they were?
I believe.
Or did you get the description of them?
I believe we searched them for. Oh, hang on. Hold, please. Hold, please. 1 second. I do. I have one of their spell books. Is there a name in the spell book?
Looking through it, it's written in another language, but what languages do you speak?
I speak. If it's Sylvan or Elven, I don't. I speak. That's under core, isn't it?
I speak giant
Mhm.
now, if that helps.
Common, Celestial, and Giant.
Okay. I'd say from the common nature of it, you can make out that this is written in Halfling, by the looks of it.
Okay.
And as you otherwise kind of hand it over, she takes a look at it. Okay, no, this is fine. Thank you for handing me this. You'll also you won't receive any pay as a result of this, because of the nature of the contract. It was whatever you find there you get to keep, including any information if you want to sell anything back. The information on handing the spellbook back is noted. I shouldn't really tell you why, but let's just say that the first crew that went there before, one of them returned and said that the other three just up and left and they moved on to a different city after they had a little bit of a fight.
Oh.
Now that I know that the three of them are dead, and the items that they returned with, they've since been sold and on auction, and the individuals otherwise left with the money.
Oh.
This has enlightened
Pain.
me a bit. We'll pass this around the Pioneers Guild and make sure that they're banned from further expeditions given the betrayal and the lying to us on what happened. And we'll make sure that you're compensated, or, well, not compensated, that you're thanked and rewarded for being honest with us.
Okay. I know it's a cheeky little ask to ask, but is it possible to have that back so I can learn the spells that are in it? If not, then I understand.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Where's my persuasion? I think that's really bad.
I believe your persuasion's not
It's
terrible.
+2 actually.
It's not bad.
But my dice are bad, so. Oh, come
Natural
on.
20, though.
I'll take
So
it.
27. As you otherwise mention that, she goes, you know what? Yeah, I'll allow it. And hands it back. Once you're done with it, though, if you bring it back, I can pass it on to the next of kin. They'll want the spell back for
That's completely
sentimental
understandable.
reasons.
Yeah, no, I will completely do that. I'll hand it back
Mm.
as soon as I can.
And in regards to the item, well, let me put it this way, and this will be to the rest of you. Would you want me to acquire the item that they found there, and then like try and reacquire it from the person it was sent to and purchased from, and just get that all sorted? They'll be obviously compensate the money that they spent on it initially, and then you'll be given the item. Or would you prefer the coin instead for handing this over?
If someone else has already brought the item, I mean, this
I
seems-
think it might be worth finding what they took from there. At least finding out what it was.
Yeah, but let the owner
Quite
keep
possibly.
the item, surely.
The item in question was a cloak of runes.
No, we would like that. Thank you. Yes.
Not
Even
I
a
would like
moment's hesitation.
not a moment's hesitation. I would like all of you to roll me history checks, please.
Oh, cool. Oh, thank you, Romulus. Okay, 24.
Sorry, what did you say that was?
History check. Yeah.
At most 4.
2, but my modifier is -2, so that's a
So
0.
a dirty 0. Got it.
And a 10 from me.
A 10. Curve, you're currently concentrated on your scythe because you can faintly hear the voices of the two of them inside, and they are heckling you on.
So be let out.
Just to be let out, they're being asses. Meanwhile, Vinny, with your 10, you and Kat both get this. Kat because it was of specific interest, Vinny because this is something you were doing during the auction. The Cloak of Runes was sold off to auction, and you noted that it was sold to a number 26 previously. So you already have a lead on that if you wanted to pursue it. But it's you can leave it to them or you can pursue it, that's up to you. But you remember it being auctioned off, and it was for around 6,000 gold.
Ooh.
I can get the item for you if you want then, yeah. If that's what you're after, I can acquire that from whoever may have bought it. I'll see what I can do. The guild will otherwise cover the charges of it, given it being illegal in nature. And if we find the individual, we'll otherwise charge them with the nature of what they did and get the money taken from them. And if not, then it'll be extracted from their assets.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
We're
Alright,
potentially
then.
heading back down that rough direction. Do you have any other tasks in that area?
At this current stage, I mean, you've hit one of the higher brackets in terms of our pioneer group, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, it's a good thing, but we don't really have that many of a higher caliber than what you did. Given you mentioned you fought ghosts, they're typically quite a dangerous group.
Yes.
And given the nature you mentioned that it collapsed, there was an exploding rabbit and other stuff,
Look, I really want to explain the whole rabbit thing. Okay, so
I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance in a moment.
I'm just going to start writing.
Yeah. You begin writing down all the details about
And then it
Max.
turned out the giant was the rabbit. Except
Hi, I'm
not
Max.
really.
There's at least a few hi, I'm Maxes in there.
I never trusted the dang rabbit. Unfortunately, I was outvoted. However, I was vindicated when it proceeded to explode into a horrifying viscera. Cornucopia? No. Cacophon? No. Piece of modern art. I have labeled this modern art.
Mhm.
I was Max. Anyhow,
We are all Max.
We are all Max. We are covered in Max.
I am
Some were.
I am
Yeah.
Max Snuff.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm just Max. I was a bunny and now I'm snacks. All across the walls, the rats will eat me for a short
Oh, no.
eternity.
I'm not gonna lie. If the movie had Max in it, I would have watched it without a hesitation.
I
Still
got
a good film, but yeah, we watched it yesterday. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. I mean, in terms of things that we don't have anybody anything that I have that's further south. I have something east of here, but not south. That's all I can really say, unfortunately. If if you're looking for more work, I can pass you on to one of our members in Canlis. If you're heading southward, it's more westward than south, but I know that they get a lot of work done over there. Being so close to the Frontvale Peaks and Margov's trails, they get a lot of work in.
Okay.
I mean, I'm allowed to send you there now that you've passed 2 in a row, and these ones have been quite high level from what I'm understanding. But like I said, I got work that could take you east. That could be a good place to go. I got work that can take you north, close towards the Lovato Hills, or even one further going northeast from here, going towards Lake Edge. Depends on where you want to go.
I know we have business in. Was it Fargnook?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have business in Fargnook, which we're potentially going to be pursuing.
Well, Canlis is just the next city over. It's 2 stops over. It's 2 days over, heading further westward. It'll lead you closer to the mountains. It'll lead you to a much colder territory than Farganook, but still worthwhile.
Would you lot like to take that one as we're heading that direction? For something we could pick up?
I mean, that's just me sending you on to the Pioneers Guild in Canlis.
Yeah. Oh, well, we can check that out. If
Remind me what's in Farganook?
we're going to go and help the mayoress's daughter. Well, the mayor,
Oh, right,
the
yeah.
young mayor. And also potentially investigate a little bit more as to location of people.
I mean,
okay. Yeah, my understanding of the geography was wrong then. I need to get a new map of that area.
For this one, Farganook is down here,
Yeah.
heading southwest.
Yeah, I thought we went southeast to the place with the dwarves.
Oh, no. So, for general reference, if we say Farganook's about here, you went up here. Sorry, I probably said it wrong. It was northwest of where you were, so roughly here, and then Canlis is down here somewhere.
Right. Okay.
I'll say
Yeah,
she's
we
showing
should
you
definitely get a
her
map
map,
of
so
that
you
area.
can. She has a map, but she can't relinquish it
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's a Pioneer's map. But she generally shows you the area and what you would be looking at.
Do you mind if I copy that bit of map to get to Canlis?
You're supposed to officially buy the maps, I'm afraid.
Okay, how much are they?
I'd like
I mean,
to
like-
roll to remember exactly what it is and then carve it into wood like a maniac.
God's sake.
I mean, if you're looking to purchase one, if you want one of the, because it's a further away area, it'll cost 75 gold to buy it from us. If you wanted to buy it locally sourced from the Pioneers Guild in Canlis, then they'll probably sell it to you for about 25, 30 gold. So you'd save 40 gold over the course of just traveling to Canlis. But if you want it now, I can see if I can get one from the cartographers.
Yeah. We'll wait until we get to Canlis. I haven't really got any
Okay.
gold.
No, that's fair.
We broke.
But yeah, I have missions in going various areas depending on what you want to do.
Okay, well, we're going to be heading in that direction, so we'll probably head up Canlis and see what's going on there.
Oh, fair enough.
But
Well,
thank you.
in which case, I'll write you up a referral letter. Don't leave without it, and I'll get that all sorted for you.
Okay.
Yeah. And Vinny, just as a general note, it was the southeastern trail was the one where the hooded figures were seen leaving,
Yes,
heading towards the Ice
yeah.
King's domain.
Yeah, which
Yeah. Looking at her map, there is no city for a good 5 days travel across open snow tundra.
yikes.
There are 2 villages that are within 4 days travel of Breilin, but the area is otherwise devoid of villages and campsite spots as well. If you get heavy snow, you could be bogged down on that road for up to 10 days.
Okay, it's getting towards winter, isn't it?
Yes, it is, which means that you'll start hitting. You've probably got about another 2 months before you hit imminent frost and up to probably -10, -20 out. Because during this current time you're in autumny time, so it's cold and wet, but it's not freezing. Or it's probably just about freezing. You aren't getting frost, you're getting slush. The further you go closer to winter, the harder it's going to be to go that far.
I'll probably have to buy some stuff in Zakas.
I mean, you have winter clothing.
Yeah,
The problem isn't that. The problem is that it's just going to be bogging you down, and then snow's different.
I meant
fine.
rations, because if it's a 10 days travel, I don't believe we have 10 days worth of rations.
No, but
Oh,
we could
that's
get
not
that
for all of
from
us.
Breilin.
Breilin. Yeah. Yeah, Breilin and Zakers would be the
That's
places
fair.
that you could buy food from. The main thing is the trail itself will become dangerous if you get bogged down. Because it's not food you're worrying about at that point, it's raids. Orc parties, ice elves, ice dwarves, they do not take friendly to people who they do not know.
Yes.
This would be something that most of you wouldn't necessarily understand, but it's a local known thing and gets mentioned a lot. You gonna say, Vinny?
Yeah, I was just going to beyond the name and the sort of general idea. How much would we know about the Ice King's domain?
Go ahead and roll me history or religion checks. I'll say all of you can make these in this instance, because this would be a hard DC, because most of you would know very little. I'd say Curve. There's no feasible way for you to know this, but I'll let you roll anyway, just to see what happens.
Was that history or religion?
Yes, your choice. And Romulus, did you roll? Or
I got a 17.
All right, what was that?
history or religion check. Okay. Okay, so Kat, what did you get?
16.
16. Vinny?
3.
3. Romulus for history or religion. Yep.
5.
And okay, so Curve with the highest one here. Your brain has been like a sponge to local things and things that you've heard through hearsay, being in taverns and drinking with Kay, and generally enjoying the festivities.
I mean,
You've
I
been
can
paying
see
more attention.
But
Well, spending more of your time drinking and understanding and listening to the area around you. There's a small part of your brain which kind of pings a little bit as, what do you know about the Ice King's domain? From being in Breilin and in WizardCon, listening to the hearsay of what people say around Breilin, it used to be one of the sites for raids by Orcish raiders, by the various races that otherwise exist and live in the Ice King's domain, where they exist within the cold tundras of the south. not far from the polar cap itself. What you know about the Ice King is that the Ice King is an ancient entity. No one knows what the Ice King is. All they know is that a humanoid form sits on the throne. Nobody knows whether they're alive or dead. No one has seen them in eons. But they are claimed to speak to the clan leaders who roam the lands, and they are the supreme ruler. They otherwise reside in a capital within the Spiral Mountains, a very difficult to reach region with mountains that reach beyond the clouds vertically, and the only way to reach the capital is to take a migratory path through the spiral shape of the lower mountains.
Oh, so
You-
we've got to take the spirally thing, guys, to the mountains because there's a king and lots of raids.
We don't necessarily need to go see the king.
You don't need to necessarily go see the thing, no. But with your 60,
I was desperately trying to hold on to as much information as I could that you were saying.
but Kat, with your, what was it, history you were going to do?
Yeah.
Okay, with history, you know that the Ice King's domain used to be very raider heavy. They used to come north during the summer months, and during the summer months they used to stay in the south and they used to hunt game and enjoy that. But then as it got closer to winter and people had to kind of bar up their homes and set fires in order to keep warm, the raiders would come through and steal livestock that had been put into barns for the winter. They'd come through and steal stacks of crops and bags. They'd take hostages, and then they would head south with those people. Those people, objects, and everything else. Since several years ago, when there was a major event that took place where there was a great revolution, the southernmost cities past Zaker's Crossing, or Zaker's Crossing included, and the ones to the south of Zaker's Crossing on this side of the gorge, are now immune and allied to the Ice King's domain, due to various bargains and things that took place. Anywhere north of Zaker's Crossing is fair game, but getting there is exceedingly difficult, so raids don't happen that much anymore. You know that most of them take place in the Magocracy, and the mages do not take kindly to being raided during the winter months.
No.
So it has led to some very heated skirmishing and warfare, where one city has chosen to ally itself to the raiders in such a way that it turned coats with the Magocracy and created this massive schism between people. That's what you know. You know that most of them don't live in homes. They have like commute areas where they go and they live. So there are campsites along the roads. There are villages, but the places where the raiders like to go are simply just to go and relax. Like a group of raiders may go, or nomads may go from A to B as they see fit. But because there's so many of them, they just congregate at these spots to buy supplies or barter with each other or brawl and fight. It's generally quite a savage atmosphere, and you know that very few people have ever gone there to come back whole. Most people are changed or indoctrinated and joined the Ice King's domain's legions.
Okay, so for what I've got, if we're gonna go down that direction, just from the get-go, it is gonna be hostile.
Yeah.
Like,
The only saving grace, and this will be from a general history check, that you and Romulus will probably get a pass, because Minotaurs exist in the south, and they are far, far worse than the Minotaurs in the north. I would say, Romulus, despite your poor roll, you know Minotaurs live in the south.
Mm-hmm.
The Minotaurs that do tend to have a good foot and a half or 2 feet over the Minotaurs in the north. They are built more rugged, a lot stronger, and most of them are a lot more barbaric than the ones in the north.
Now, I know that I'm a bit bigger than even the average Minotaur.
Yeah.
Where do I fall on their scale? Like probably the lower end of their scale.
Lower end of their scale, yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear.
But from a Minotaur in the north,
I'm going to be the fucking baby.
Well, to an extent, but to them you'd be considered large for a
Yeah.
northern Minotaur.
Yeah,
Because most
true.
northern Minotaurs are seafarers or mountain dwellers. Down here, they're tundra dwellers. They're big.
I suppose I do have the benefit of being able to use Giant Smite and instantly like outweigh anyone.
This is true, but then
Mm.
again, who knows what tricks they have up their sleeve.
Yeah, this is true. Okay, interesting.
Well, I mean, yeah, if we're gonna commit to something like that,
It's a trek.
it's
And
gonna
you'd
be
want to do it before winter. Because if you get caught in Frost's Embrace and you're not prepared and things get worse, you're going to need to start preparing for minus 60 degrees that far south. Most of the people who live there are able to exist within that temperature because they have learned to do so. Frost's Embrace, you're looking at low temperatures of minus 20, get to Frigid Breach, minus 40. If you hit Frozen Crown in there, you're going to freeze to death unless you have countermeasures. So it's a difficult one.
I don't know what to suggest. I mean, if we're gonna go, we're gonna want to go soonish, but it sounds incredibly dangerous in pursuit of someone we don't know where they're going. If we had a clear end goal, it probably would help, but we
Yeah,
don't
just-
know.
Yeah, no, you're
Just
right.
for reference, you're in the first month of autumn. You have 2 months until the end of autumn, and then you have 1 month of winter before you begin to hit Frozen Embrace or Frost's Embrace. So you have 3.5 months.
But we need to definitely be somewhere fucking warm by the time Frost Embrace comes around.
I
Yeah.
think I need my fire elemental before we go down there. That might help us a little bit with the cold.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. That or magic that will help you in other ways.
Just keep fireballing us.
Fireball the party to thaw them out.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know how long. I don't even know what the hell he's doing there.
No. And depending on what's happening, like if he's meeting up with some of the people from down there, we could be walking into a very, very dangerous situation.
Indeed. Okay, I'll figure something out.
Okay. I mean, didn't he say to the shops guy, Kevin, that was it Kevin? No, was it Kevin? Was it?
Kevin, yeah.
All right, yeah. Didn't he say to the shop guy, Kevin, that he was going to be coming back at some point?
Did he?
I believe what Kevin said is that if he comes back through, he'll say that his friend said hi.
Ah, right, okay.
So it's if he comes back through,
Right,
not that he will.
I okay. So, yeah, okay. That trail's cold. Literally.
Mm,
Do you know if he's got any allies up here that might have knowledge on where he's gone?
me. Okay. Vinny's gonna pull out the book and have a flick through it.
Okay. Let me quickly open that up, so just have a look through the information as well.
Yeah, you see Vinny pull out a large, very well worn and very badly damaged tome, seemingly a ledger of some kind.
Yeah. Looking through, you can see what look to be a series of names. Some have what look to be quotation marks around them with a few notes attached to what looks to be a nickname. Notes attached telling them where, or telling you where they may be in various locations. You see that they have some of them have a race attached and a skill as well. Of the ones that you note looking through, you note Red Run Riot, which, if you remember, you all had a run-in with at the Den of Furs.
Mhm.
And then there is one called Greasy Mac, who is in Zaker's
Mhm.
Crossing. Rebecca, or should I say Curve,
Mm-hmm.
as you read that name, you recognize that description, that name.
Did you say Greasy Mac?
Yes. And as you kind of think back, you remember that one time during when you were locked in Zaker's Crossing for basically city arrest, you went to the tavern, the Oiled Pickle, and you remember seeing that barkeep there, large fellow, an otherwise mud fluxion of earth and water. There are other names in here as well in other places, which many of you may or may not have been, but a lot of them are further north from Zakers as opposed to south. I'm just going to double check to see if there are any actually south of Zakers, but I think all of them are north except for one. Nope, all of them are north. Did you want me to copy and paste the list so they can see everything?
Yes, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Pasting this is going to be a little bit difficult, but I'm going to do my best.
No worries. Most of the places we were working are further north than this, but I mean, I guess numbers knew a lot of people.
Okay. Well, if there's one in Zakers that
There are two in
hasn't tried to
Zakers.
kill you,
Oh, yeah. There's one in Zakers that hasn't tried to kill you yet.
possibly go and see them. If not, then we could probably, as much as it's gonna be hostile, the other guys might know something. Even if they just know that there is someone down there.
There you go.
I don't know that they'd appreciate me going back, and I don't know that they'd tell me anything more than they said last time, that Carven was heading south, but
It's true, but if we word it so we're not
sighting-
specifically asking him, say, hey, do you...
in case this was just before. If he was in town just before WizardCon, he must have left Tremor's Rest after us, so it's possible that she went south and he followed her. Okay. Okay, we need to speak to Greasy Mac, and I need to head back to the Den of Furs.
Okay, well, I'll help you with that if there's anything I can do to help. I mean, I can detect thoughts, so maybe something they don't say but think might give something away. Should we go check out Greasy Mac first? Mac? Then? Try and follow some leads?
Yeah, probably a good place to start. Let's see if we get any extra information there.
Okay. Then that's where we should head.
Okay. So, who's heading where and who's doing what?
gonna go.
Are you heading as a party there?
I think Vinny might need to back up.
Yeah. Last time we met someone from Vinny's past, they tried to kill him. So yeah.
Okay. So you're returning to the dinner first? Was it, or?
Greasy Mac?
Greasy
Oh,
Mac
you were going to the
first,
oiled
yeah.
pickle.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Being from the Pioneers Guild, going from the Pioneers Guild, sorry, you travel back towards the school, and you arrive at the outside of what looks to be the oiled pickle. Due to the nature of it, you are on the ground floor in the dark alleys itself. You can see that the structure is built of what looks to be dusty steel and timber. It's 2 stories tall and otherwise buried so that it is layers. And you can see that people use it as a way to get from one layer to the other, constructed in almost like... So foot traffic travels through here quite a lot by the looks of it. As you otherwise kind of head in for the moment and otherwise take in the place for here, the lower floor of this establishment is warm and welcoming. You can see shades of green and black in a few places, with what look to be trimmed ribbons that are otherwise hanging from the ceiling itself to give a air of welcoming. But it still feels odd. You can see that the tables and chairs here are built from reclaimed timber, or Romulus, you pick that up. And the floor itself, along with a lot of this area, seems to be slightly sticky, with patches of drink and wood that have stained and somewhat caused effects, and just a general air of uncleanliness about the lower floor. You can see across to the far side of the entranceway where you came in, you can see the stairwell that leads up to the second floor. You recognize this place, and you can see what looks to be to him. While around his waist, you can see what looks to be a loose apron with a leather belt holding it, and what looks to be kind of these almost baggy trousers in place. As he's otherwise serving a few individuals, he otherwise slides a few mugs over, takes coins, and just kind of slides them in his pouch. And you can see he's laughing and getting on well with the people around as you otherwise wander in.
Okay. I will head over to.
Okay.
I will cast Detect Thoughts using Cychania.
Okay. Using Sarchania and picking up on the detect thoughts. There's a lot of thoughts throughout this room.
Okay, I'm focusing solely on him.
Okay. Okay. Focusing solely on him. He seems to be focused. The initial surface thoughts that you pick up are... Today's going well. Today's going well. Hopefully the rest of the day will be just as smooth as this one. I'll be well on my way for proper collection before the festival kicks in next month. And you approach, as you otherwise do. He otherwise goes, "Well, what can I get you some fine customers?" "Hey, I recognize you," pointing at Curve. "You're the one who came with that little fella who won the record. Good to see you back. Where is he?"
Do we have the bag on us?
You do. You have the K bag of holding, yes.
All right. I just point and I say, you know how it is. He was a mad lad.
And he got himself turned into a bag of holding. My man. All right. What would you like drinks
From a
wise?
bottomless hole to a bottomless hole.
Yeah, exactly. I'll pour one out for him. He takes a mug of beer and just pours it into K. So, what can I get y'all?
Let's stop a round of beer.
All right. Not for the little one. Points at Cat,
Yeah,
and you immediately get the sense of him going, "Is she old? Is she old enough? Nah, she's too young for that."
Do you have
Give her
a
a glass.
low to no alcohol cider for her?
I'd like
I wanna-
orange or milk.
Low alcohol and no alcohol, unfortunately, still count as alcohol, and
Now
Whether
that
your
is
parent-
surprising because
It's even though it's no alcoholic, it's still been through a process of being alcoholic, and therefore
I'm very
it's
interested as to the
restricted.
legalities of parental guardians ordering.
inner retail worker me is saying that if you back off, or I'm giving him auto hits or auto crits on anything he Greasy Mac
No,
does.
I'm just genuinely thinking it's quite interesting as to what the hell kind of legislation went through, because obviously all the different races have all like loads of different like ages of maturity, and it's like, how the fuck does this work? And also, we already live in a society where you can theoretically buy like a 13 or 12-year-old wine in a eating establishment, and that's technically fine.
That is true, but then if you're buying it in a retail store, it's different because reasons. Anyway, if you're openly buying it for a young adult who's probably going to go out and take it themselves, then you can't let them. Anyway, I don't want to talk about work. I'm on holiday. So,
Anyway, yeah, 3 beers and a milk.
all right. The entire and all the people in the general area go quiet and just kind of look at you. What did you say?
What's his thought?
His thought is, what did he just call me?
I'm gonna, just that I'm a friend of numbers.
Friend?
He didn't say much about you at all, just that he knew you.
I'm just going to be like just subtly inching my hand over to the beers and milk and just
You get a sense from him of Numbers would never relinquish his book. They killed Numbers and are pretending that they know him. And there is a moment of immediate kind of just begin to pick up that people in the room are ready to defend Mac if anything goes down. It's cutting.
I'm gonna summon.
who the fuck is
Eugene otherwise appears, and then Filch goes, "Who we?" Vinny.
So you do know him then? Friend, enemy, rival?
What's it to you?
What it is to me is that one of my oldest and dearest friends.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion, wasn't
Yep.
it? 27.
Ooh.
He looks at you, and in that moment, you instinctively, as you otherwise mentioned that, you're still holding the book in your hand with a little bit flashing it but putting it back. There's a moment of him looking at it and noting. And Kat, you pick this up as he... And I believe what he says. And there's hesitation.
You were broadcasting the fact.
That's fair. Yeah. What do you want?
Information. Anything you can give me.
On what?
Do you know what Numbers was working on?
I've seen both. Said the Casius had a good plan. There's a moment of hesitation as he's talking, and Kat, you're picking up that he, in the nature of what he's thinking right now, he is saying what he's thinking, but his surface thoughts are that the big project was not Numbers' idea, nor was it Casius's, but a third party who wanted something.
Okay.
You're also beginning to note a number of the hostile individuals are beginning to back off, but there are still a few of them kind of waiting and watching.
Okay.
As for the others, Cassius came through not too long ago. A few of my associates picked up on him heading through. Why? Is it something to do with them?
I hope not, but one of them is trying to kill the other, from what I understand.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage. And again, because of Cat. Yeah. Carverne was on the run. Heading south. Said she had to get something before Cassius did. Said she was heading further south back to her old friends. Don't entirely know what that means, but, you know. Your guess is as good as mine. With regards to Cassius, just a few of my goons picked him up. If he's responsible for Numbers' death, I would respect that you tell me now. Whether you know or whether you suspect.
I don't know, but the weapon that he was killed with used to be in Cassius's possession.
Okay. In this instance, you watch as his fists clench, and Cat, you pick up on a very deep-seated anger. You begin to understand a bit more. I'll say go ahead and roll me an insight check for more detail, but in this instance, and as you begin to understand it a bit more from this, he's barely able to restrain anger in this instance of learning who may have done this.
Who's doing the insight?
You're doing the insight versus Mac, because you've got detect thoughts up.
Well, this is gonna end badly as I have -1. Wish me luck, guys. Yeah, no.
No, 2. You don't
Two,
pick up on
that's
any more than what I
14,
mentioned. He otherwise looks up at you, looks you dead in the eyes, Vinny. You are gonna find out who did this. And you're gonna I wanna feed it to the dogs. Like they deserve. She wouldn't betray him.
No, she wouldn't.
Doesn't matter what you say or what you say otherwise, she wouldn't. If she's in her right mind, she wouldn't betray him. If one of them's hunting the other and you'll be wanting to head south. Do any of you speak Primordial?
No.
No. How loud is he? Will Terador hear him from outside? Oh, of course. Terador doesn't speak. Well, no, he might hear. I can ask
He
him
would
later.
understand. He would understand, but unless you speak Primordial, you can't understand Terador.
No, that's true. But he understands me, and I can cast.
Can Terador translate?
I can cast.
Terador.
Comprehend language.
Are you going to cast Comprehend Language in this instance, or is it just to learn what
No,
if Terador heard it?
Basically, I want. If Terador can hear it, Terador, I would like for him to try and memorize.
Okay.
I have no.
For Terador, please.
Can Curve just ask him what does that mean?
He otherwise gestures, nodding over to a figure who steps up from one of the tables. You can see that the individual is wearing what looks to be kind of this long leather jacket, a kind of a thin-brimmed hat to it, several feathers placed into it, and a mask that has been brought up against the surface of their face. All of you, with the exception of Curve in this instance, would recognize this individual as a Plague Knight. Don't wear, from what you understand, the natural standard of being a Plague Knight.
Swear to God, if we end up.
No,
smaller than you.
I absolutely would have recognized.
Recognize who it is?
There's no visuals for you to use here.
I can't. Yeah, I can't cast a spell without it being.
No, Dale doesn't seem to be picking up. He's paying more attention that if anybody attacks you, he's going to tear through that door to defend you.
Good God,
he's
no.
more focused. He's more focused on that.
Why aren't you like that? Why aren't you like that?
They are
No.
big.
They could try and tear through the door.
Two crows just hit the door. Boof, boof. They wouldn't do very well. So, Mac otherwise look towards and go. Make sure that you help these folk for the time being. They're looking for Carvern. Get what information you can for me. Sound fair? The individual otherwise looks at the two of you, or at your party, looks back at Mac, nods, and you watch as they otherwise leave the establishment. My friend there, materials themselves, I imagine. I'm willing to cover the cost of this. This is valuable information. I don't want you to be late to taking out Cassius if he's the one who's done this. Don't leave Zakers, whatever the condition. As long as you're in Zakers by nightfall, if you do have to head down to the lower city, make sure you're back by nightfall. That, once you've received the information. I'm trusting you to do this.
I won't let you down. I'll help you.
And as collateral, what's your name and the name of a family member? If you join Cassius, I'm tearing you and them apart.
Station Swift Sail.
Otherwise nods.
Father's name is Loyalty Swift Sail.
Understood. He nods.
So just to
No.
check, that was Vindicator what?
Swift sail.
Swift sail. Good. Get this done. I don't think I'll ever have to charge you for drinks or places to stay if you need it. You do what's right. 3
And-
beers and the milk. He turns around.
Milk.
I choose to
Okay.
believe the milk is from like a massive pint glass.
Well, it's from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The jug. Well, you get refrigeration in Zakers. I mean, they don't really do heating, so yeah.
Randomly, where's the milk from? Just curious.
Roll me a nature check.
Oh, 7.
7. Milk, typically, from what you understand, comes from goats.
Sorry.
So is it goat?
Well, goat milk is the bit. Which was the... Were you heading to the Den of Furs or the Taskmaster?
Don't think it would be a long meeting at the Den of Furs.
Yeah, Den of Furs.
Okay.
Okay.
Heading to the Den of Furs, you head inside. I need to quickly see if Red run right. But you may leave a message if you wish.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave him a note.
Okay. You leave it with one of the other hunters. And
Yeah.
you leave him that
I
note.
can- Yeah, I can send you the exact text of it, but basically it's going to say that when I first came in, I assumed that Carvern was looking for Cassius, but I don't think that's correct now. And that she might be in more danger than she thinks, and if they can get a message to her, could they please do so?
Okay. Okay. And then your next stop is the Taskmaster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it just dawned on me.
Mm-hmm.
Should you need to, if you need to get hold of one of them, I have send-in.
Need their name. I don't. Where did I? How do I know that? Fuck.
I
Blood
will
ledger,
have to
but
do it
yeah.
tonight. But yeah, I can send a sending to someone if you reckon that one of them would accept your help.
If that would work, then yeah.
Okay. Before we go to bed, I'll attune to the book and I'll send a send-in. Let me know what you
Okay.
want to say.
I'll write that
Okay.
in my session introduction note. Oh yeah, the next enemy has inspiration. Um,
So gosh darn live.
Taskmaster. As you're otherwise wandering through the streets in that general direction, you note two very out of place people wandering through the street. You see walking ahead of you in roughly the same direction as you, but at a slightly slower pace from what you can tell, kind of just generally looking around from what you can tell, a light held overhead, acting as a beacon for the entirety of the dark alleys where you wander. You see an individual wearing kind of this heavy splint armor, what looks to be a helmet over the top of their head, a kind of a bright hammer held in one hand, holding up to the air above, and otherwise wandering through on this with this heavy armor and a shield to their side, as you recognize Damien wandering through the dark alleys, seemingly very lost. As you would. Meanwhile, standing next to them, you see another figure wearing what looks to be kind of these long, kind of dark brown flowing clothing, a set of otherwise very bright, almost bluey red, giving off a blue or red shine to them. A set of through the streets, you note that they are carrying what looks to be this kind of large, almost cylindrical weapon, mimicking that of almost a hand crossbow. I'd say Cat, you'd probably be the only one who can check. You look at it and you have no idea what it is, as they otherwise carry this seeming weapon and wandering around as they turn and they notice a hand on the weapon and pushes it down before kind of smiling, knocking back their helmet visor, holding up the light and getting a better look at you all. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Let's go.
And in 2 weeks' time, or next week, depending on how things go, we will be bringing Dan and new Jamie back into the campaign for
I
some
draw
time.
out stagger. Roll initiative, Chris.
Pterodor pounces.
For the stream. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you, if we don't see you next week, because Jamie will be at Comic-Con and I may be working on new Jamie and Dan's they're going to have before being introduced to the campaign. Then we're not going to have a session next week. We will have it the week after.